What's good, my peoples? What's good, my peoples? You heard? You hear me? You heard? Alright, I'm trying to make sure you hear me. Alright, today we will be reacting to not even reacting. I'm gonna be telling y'all how I will beat this Long Walk movie. Alright. Now listen, I am the best at this shit. But for me, let's just get into the video. That's not really what I say. Let's get in my
A group of 50 boys participated in the Long Walk. The winner gets unlimited cash and the granting of a single wish.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure, like he said, I think it's like 100. I think it's like 100 people walk. And feel me, they just keep walking until they reach the end. Personally, I would not participate in a game like this because who in their right mind will who in their right mind would sign up for this and be like, all right, I'm gonna walk and I'm gonna be the last one standing to walk, and whoever wins get a prize. That's so fucking sketchy.
The others, well, they get their ticket. The Long Walk is based on the first novel Stephen King ever wrote. He started it in the late 60s as a freshman in college, which is insane. But it didn't come out until 1979, after Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and The Stand. Also, it was published under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. People didn't know King was the actual author until 1985. That's when The Long Walk was republished in a collection called the Bachman Books, which I read as a kid because my dad owned it. My dad was a huge Stephen King fan, and is why I've been surrounded by his work my entire life. Thanks, Dad. The Long Walk was always my favorite King story as a kid. Like, I wrote out a kill count on loose leaf for it. I read and reread it so many times. I always wanted to see a movie version, but I knew it would be a really hard one to shoot. It's just walking and talking. I mean, that's literally what it is, a 90-minute walk and talk.
This is walk or die. Simple as that.
And in fact,
so all of the people know it's just you walk or you die. So once you start walking, you die. And everybody know that, and nobody said no to it. Okay.
Many previous attempts to make a movie version failed, including one with George Romero in the 80s, a Frank Darabont one in the 2000s, and even one with Andre Overdahl as late as 2019. We finally got a movie for real this time, thanks to all-star horror producer Roy Lee. He acquired the rights and hired Francis Lawrence to direct, who was already very familiar with dystopian death games, having directed all of the Hunger Games movies after the first one. But The Long Walk isn't just a proto-Hunger Games, it's a proto-death game in general. Remember, King started writing it in the 60s, predating Hunger Games, Squid Game, and Battle Royale. And while Hunger Games is far from lighthearted, The Long Walk is on another level of brutality. The movie doesn't shy away from how horrible this would be. A literal death march of teenage boys just for the chance to have a little happiness.
Yeah, so all of the kids are kids too. That's fine. All right.
It's unflinching in its depiction of violence, which, coupled with the amazing cast making every character grounded and lovable, can make this a tough one to watch. And yet, somehow, Lawrence and his young actors are able to find beauty amidst the tragedy.
A short friendship is better than no friendship, right?
This movie is heartbreaking, but not without reason, and I'm truly grateful for its existence. Who will... Oh, they're here? Okay, yeah, I'll be right there.
Say yeah. Say yeah. 21 with no kids.
Your CCDD, clear control, damage, disarm.
All right, maggots, fall in line. Today you do the most honorable thing your lives will ever amount to. Something that takes a whole lot of sack. You walk. Now, some of you won't make it to the end. Hell, most of you won't. Your bodies will be broken. Your souls beaten down. And in that moment, I know what you'll all be thinking. I need a doctor. Where's a doctor? I know that feeling well, of being in a new place and not knowing where to get proper medical care. So you put it off. Yeah, I've met too many men like you. And then when you finally do sack up, call after call, hoping to find someone with availability, not even knowing if they'll be good. So you put it off, right? But lucky for you, you have something they didn't. Today's sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc allows you to search from the The movie begins with a letter to Raymond Garrity. He's won the lottery. It's a little less Powerball and a little more Shirley Jackson though, since what he's won is a spot in the long walk. He'll represent his state and join 49 other young men competing for unimaginable riches and a single wish. Ray's mom Ginny reluctantly drives him to the walk's starting point, an undisclosed town in Maine, because Stephen King. As an adult with life perspective, Ginny knows what her son is signed up to do, and it tears her apart.
Billy, wait!
Mom, I can't.
But Ray, with the invincible mindset of youth,
Wait. So, you telling me he told his mom that he was signing up for this? And he had it in, bro, and he had it in his mind, oh yeah, it's either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna die. There's no in between. And he was like, okay. You see, we can just end the movie here. Cause personally, what I would do, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm just not doing that shit. There's no reason for me to do it, bro. Like, is money really that important? No, it's not important. Bang. Come on, let's get to
as an adult with life perspective, Ginny knows what her son is signed up to do, and it tears her apart.
Billy, wait!
Mom, I can't.
But Ray, with the invincible mindset of youth, promises he'll see her in a few days. He leaves to meet the other boys, starting with Pete McVries.
Hey, I'm Ray Garrity.
Pete. Peter McVries.
And so
Damn, he big as fuck. No gay shit though. No gay shit.
it begins. Together, they meet the other walkers, like the athletic and cocky Stebbins, who's not here to make friends. Unlike the religious Art Baker from Baton Rouge.
Just want to walk and maybe make some friends.
There's also Hank Olson, a fast-talking nerd who's done his research and is raring to rip.
Hint number 13, let's conserve energy whenever possible.
Shut up, Olsen.
They see a kid named Curly who looks so young, they assume he lied about his age to get in. You're supposed to be 16 to participate. If you can drive a car, you can walk a walk, I guess. As these teenage boys talk amongst themselves, it feels so true to life. Not everyone fits in, like the awkward Gary Barkovich, and there are social power dynamics at play, with in-groups forming among them. They file up for a speech from the Major, the military guy running this whole thing. He assigns them each a number, 1 through 50. That's a change from the book, where 100 boys compete. They cut the number in half to make as many of them feel like real people as possible. The Major gives a big ol' exposition dump, which will not be the last dump we see. In this alternate history, the United States has fallen, like even harder, after a massive war 19 years ago. The Long Walk is intended to spike production and make America great again.
You boys are the answer. The long walk is the answer. Your inspiration will continue to elevate our gross national product. We will be #1 in the world again!
The Major loves the GDP, almost as much as he loves talking about sack.
Sack.
The rules of the walk are simple. Maintain a speed of at least 3 miles per hour, or you get a warning. After 3 warnings, you get your ticket. But you can get a warning removed by walking at speed for 1 hour. You can't leave the road.
If you step off the pavement, you will get your ticket without warning.
Finally, there's only one winner and no finish line. They walk until it's over. Good.
Does he explain to them that if they run out of warnings and if they walk on the pavement, they would die? Did he explain that to them or not? Probably not.
Luck, have fun, don't. In the book, the walking speed is 4 miles per hour, which is actually crazy. Like, what the fuck is this pace? A speed walk? A jog? It's neither. It's horrible. King himself requested they change it to a much more reasonable 3 miles per hour. And no, the book's pace isn't because it was translated from kilometers per hour. I saw that rumor spreading around, but King denied it. He just didn't know walking speeds. After the Major's done gassing them up, he sends the boys on their way.
Who's ready to fucking win?
Well, only one of them, actually, which is the fucked up reality they're left with as they begin their first of many miles. With no spectators allowed early on, the walkers only have each other, the armed guards and vehicles, and the cameras broadcasting them to the rest of the country.
Smile, boys. You're on candid camera.
After a few miles and some small talk, a core 4 begins to form between Ray, Pete, Hank, and Art. Barkovich is excluded because he's weird and surly. Stebbins ain't in it because he's a mysterious asshole. They talk about why they signed up. Art wants the prize money, since he grew up dirt poor, while Pete wants to make the world a better place. But Ray points out that they didn't really have a choice.
Nobody signs up for this. Not really.
After all, there's not a single boy in America who doesn't sign up for it. In this way, The Long Walk is like the military draft for the Vietnam War, which was going on when King wrote the story. The movie mostly feels like it takes place in that era, despite some anachronistic tech like their pace watches. It's a futuristic retro setting that avoids specifying a time period, instead depicting a different timeline with an alternate history.
It's a world where the Great Depression never ended. It's a world where things stayed bad and only got worse.
A walker named Harkness introduces himself to Ray and Pete. He's making note of all their names and numbers so he can write the first book about the Long Walk from an insider's perspective. Oh man, that would have been such a Harkness with a little notebook and shit. That kid Curly cramps up, slowing down enough to get 2 warnings. Ray jumps in and helps the kid back up to speed, and the others encourage him, but he collapses. All of a sudden, reality sets in. Someone's about to get their ticket.
It ain't fucking fair!
Oh my god, dude! Oh, the Long Walk!
That's the first one down already. It's only 21 minutes. Damn, already been 21 minutes. Okay.
Walk ain't fucking around. Oh shit, then a title card? 21 minutes in? Freaking fantastic. This first kill is crazy impactful, not only because of the violence, but also the score. Besides Sinners, The Long Walk has my favorite horror score of 2025. It was done by Jeremiah Freites, co-founder of the Lumineers. Yeah, he's a stomp clap hey guy. This was actually his first ever film score. He was hired by producer Roy Lee. Freites intentionally wrote something beautiful and emotional to contrast with the movie's dark subject matter. The Major encourages the boys to walk in Curly's honor. A lot of them cheer his name, but Ray doesn't. Pete notices Ray gets all grumpy pants whenever the Major's around, but Ray won't say why. He just gets his canteen refilled and touches the guard's carbine as he walks away. A little ritual for luck. Pete's got a ritual too. It's called whipping it out and pissing backwards without missing a step. Ain't no bathroom breaks on the walk. The Core Four formalizes their friendship as the Four Musketeers. All for one and one for all.
They say you shouldn't make friends on the long walk, but fuck it, I sort of like you 3.
Ray and Pete are definitely each other's number ones though. Ray talks about his dad, who taught him to be skeptical of the government, while Pete shares that he wanted to be a songwriter once upon a time. Up ahead, walker number 1 collapses from a seizure, apparently caused by an undisclosed medical condition. The guards dispassionately call out his 3 warnings, then execute him there on the ground. This second execution unnerves Ray and Pete, even though Barkovich points out it's in their favor.
Hey, y'all should be fucking smiling. The odds just went up for us.
This nigga got a gun down.
Barkovich point execute him there on the ground. This
the
guards dispassionately call out his 3 warnings, then execute him there on the ground.
Y'all should be fucking smiling. The odds just went up for us, yeah?
The Long Walk makes for a difficult watch because it doesn't cut away from the violence. This was actually a mandate from King himself. He only agreed to sell.
Wait, so can you I'm thinking about it. Can you just kill everybody else, or could you go above the pace? Feel me? I don't know.
The rights that the movie was R-rated and brutal. Roy Lee knew just the man who could adapt it the way King wanted.
I don't know how to write any other way, so if they would have hired me to do a PG version of this, I don't know if I could have done it.
JT Molnar had just finished writing and directing Strange Darling, which left him exhausted. So he was happy to write something for someone else to direct. Because he is also a director though, he was able to add a visual flair to the screenplay, even though the novel is mostly internal thoughts and dialogue, which he tried to use as much of as possible.
I want to make sure that great lines that a writer has contributed to their own novel, if they don't end up in the movie, that's a total disservice to them.
The Musketeers make good on their promise to stick together. They slow down to just above minimum speed to help uncramp Hank's leg, and Ray even shares his rations for the day when Hank drops his. They're becoming close friends.
You a dead boy, Ray.
Yeah, friends.
Wonder if it's a horny in my life as I am right this minute. Ain't that strange?
While they're supporting each other, Barkovich is trying to tear others down. He starts picking on Rank, a sensitive boy who began the Long Walk by folding a bit of origami. Barkovich barks at him and makes yo mama jokes until Rank swings his way down to the ground. Ah, Rank, never go face to asphalt. Gary's Barkovich is worse than his Bikovich, and he yells at the kid to get up, but Rank doesn't before his 3 warnings run out and he gets his ticket. The other kids start calling Barkovich a murderer, and he,
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he doesn't take that very well. More local looky-loos come out to watch and get a real eyeful when number 45 goes number 2. And he can't stop! Oh man, you don't...
He taking a shit, walking.
Nah, you versatile.
He versatile with it though.
want to get the runs on the walk. It'll leave you shit out of luck. R.I.P. number 45. The day winds to a close, and as the walkers approach their first night on the road, the Major gives them a sack full of encouragement.
You got sack. Swing it heavy as you cover these miles, heavy and long.
Ray drifts off into a dream of his mom and wakes up to a warning. He was sleepwalking. Or sleeping? Either way, Pete tries to keep him awake and up to speed. They talk about Ray's mom, and since they're teenage boys, the others end up saying they would bang her.
Going back to a beautiful lady. I hope you get 1, 2, 3 warnings. Holy shit.
That shifts the conversation to other women in their life. Ray had a girlfriend, but broke things off before the walk.
What about you, Pete? You got a lady?
No, Ray.
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play unlocked with Google Play Games on PC.
No, I don't.
Yeah, okay, so I don't think this is an Adam and Lawrence Gordon situation. This homoeroticism has a lot more textual evidence. The book already had some undertones you could read into, but dialogue like this makes it feel like the movie is trying to spell it out for us. Molnar added more of a focus on Ray and Pete's relationship to make the movie more sentimental and less bleak than the book. I'll clarify a couple of things though. First, I don't think I ever saw the filmmakers or the cast explicitly say there was something more than friendship here.
There's a love, there's a male friendship love that I find to be so nice to watch.
And secondly, as much as we joke about gay relationships on this show, which we do a lot because it's, fun and funny, in reality, not every close relationship between dudes is romantic or sexual. In fact, I think it's important to show affectionate heterosexual friendships, and this movie's got plenty of that going on too. But Ray and Pete, yeah, they basically boyfriends. It helps that there's so much chemistry between the actors.
I just like David a lot, and I think that's always really helpful to just like the person you're acting with.
Cooper Hoffman said David Johnson was the most charismatic person he ever met, and both of them described their chemistry read as a first date. Their performances really elevate The Long Walk. Both of them were nominated for acting prime ribs, which was the second nomination for Johnson after Alien Romulus, which he won for. Ray stumbles and gets his third warning, meaning one more mistake and he's gonna get his ticket. So what you're saying is it's probably a bad time for an uphill stretch.
Fuck me. Fuck!
The walk turns into an immediate death march, with warnings dished out left and right and guards doing reps with their trigger fingers. Barkovich hops around, screaming at everyone that
How do they know what movement? How do they know how fast they're going to? It's just so.
They're gonna die tonight, zeroing in on Ray, just like the guard with a gun pointed at his head. Before Ray can falter, Pete grabs him and gets him back up to speed. With his help, they're able to crest the hill successfully, unlike the 14 boys behind them who get killed. That number is based off dialogue we hear a little later, since it's hard to know if each shot we hear is equal to 1 kill. And besides, we don't hear or see 14 shots, so the point is moot anyway. That's one of my only nitpicks with the movie.
Don't worry, I got you. I got you with the 14 shots. Don't worry, I got you. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Bang!
I wish it kept better track of the walkers and when they're eliminated. It might be coming from a selfish place. I mean, it'd make my job easier. But for instance, after they mention 14 boys having died, that brings our kill count up to 18, meaning there should be 32 walkers left. But that's not what they have.
Which means 18 left, I think.
32 to 18 is a huge difference. That's 14 unaccounted for kills. I realize you can't show every single death, but get a little closer at least. There's even one walker we meet, a guy named Pearson, who we never see get his ticket. He just disappears at some point. Besides, counting along is one of the reasons these death game movies appeal to people. Trust me, I know. As the sun rises on day 2, Pete confirms that all the Musketeers are still alive. But Ray admits he's starting to think he won't win. Pete does too. It's not a matter of physical fitness, look at them arms, but more so a personality thing.
I don't want to beat people that badly. And I think when the time comes, and I'm tired enough, I think I'll just sit down.
The restless night has left everyone feeling buggy as they approach oh god damn it. Kali from Sioux Falls is pissed about the state of the state, and you know it's bad when the dude from South Dakota is calling you a bumpkin. Even Hanky's getting cranky.
You want to go for a walk?
Go to hell.
All this walking was hard on the cast and crew too, who had to walk just as much or more than the characters on screen.
It was actually kind of scary, I guess, to some degree, of like, oh, we actually have to walk.
It was sometimes in 100-degree heat with no shade, and minor injuries happened to plenty. The kid who played Harkness got heat stroke, and Ranks actor Damon Rightly took off his shoes at one point to find them filled with blood. Each day, they would walk between 13 and 26 miles, sometimes for long stretches during a single take.
If someone fucked up their line, it was really annoying to reset, because we'd be walking back like 2 miles to reset.
And that meant everyone would have to reset, since the crew was moving with the cast.
The guy who's walking with the boom all the time, just like
keeping off of the camera, trying to maintain up with the buggy, and also like catching all of our dialogue. It's crazy just watching them doing that.
Even departments like hair, makeup, and wardrobe would follow in vans, and they'd have to figure out where to put bathrooms and craft services without a static base camp. Adding to how unique this production was, director Francis Lawrence chose to shoot the whole movie in order, chronologically. That allowed the actors to develop real relationships with each other, as well as lose weight and develop limps. The book-writing boy wonder Harkin gets a warning, because at some point, looks like during that hill, his ankle did a magic trick and turned into a bloody stump. He's unable to do much before getting his 3 warnings and collecting his ticket, right in front of a couple of kids on bikes. Guess those Stand By Me bystanders wanted to see a dead body. The Major shows up to congratulate them since they've now walked 100 miles. 400 more and they can join the Proclaimers. The Major is played by Mark Hamill and was written as less nuanced than the boys. He's more a representation of this government's ideology. Hamill enjoyed the role and giving the audience someone to focus their anger on.
Being a hero is fine. I mean, but as an actor, any response you get, I mean, I love being hated if I'm...
Waited until after production. Some of the actors playing the Walkers were afraid of liking him too much, so they waited until after production wrap to properly meet him.
I wasn't allowed to bond.
The boys continued to deteriorate, both physically, with Stebbins starting to sneeze.
Just allergies.
Sure it is, sweetie. And mentally, with number 31, Percy Grimes making a run for it. As per the rules, he's immediately shot when he steps off the road for his diner dash. He dies right next to a window advertising different flavors of pie. Horrific violence paired with images of small-town Americana is quintessential Stephen King. Lawrence leaned into it to create haunting imagery. An earlier shot referenced a famous photograph by Gordon Parks, a photographer whose work included impoverished Americans during the Great Depression. The Long Walk was mostly filmed in Winnipeg and other parts of Manitoba because they felt like it had an American Gothic Midwestern feel to it. What I didn't realize was how much they used digital effects to age the background buildings for the period look that they were going for.
Hopefully, like, it's invisible, it feels real, and you know, people won't know which technique we've employed.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Distillery VFX had just finished work on The Last of Us, so they knew how to make things look post-apocalyptic. They also handled most of the kills. Squibs couldn't be used because of the mobile production, and Lawrence didn't want any real guns on set, so they used air horns to get reactions from the actors, and digital effects to add the muzzle flashes, smoke, gun casings, and blood. In desperate need of a subject change, Art asks the others what they'll wish for if they win. He says he wants to take a rocket to the moon. Hank wants 10 chicks at the same time.
What the fuck you gonna do with 10 naked ladies?
He should wish for a new piece of gum. He's been chewing that same nasty wad since the walk started.
I got this feeling in the depth of my gut. As long as this gum lasts, so do I.
Hank Olsen's accent wasn't written into the script. It was a choice by his actor, Ben Wang. He decided to do it for his audition tape.
I remember I read it, I was like, yeah, this guy never shuts up. And then I, for some reason, I was like, he's gotta have an old-timey Brooklyn accent. He's gotta.
It's such a great little detail that makes him memorable. He sounds like how Stebbins looks, like a frickin' newsie. Pete says his wish will be for the Long Walk to have 2 winners from now on, so they can finish the walk alongside a friend. Ray won't say what his wish is, but reveals that he wants to change things on a massive societal scale. Art warns him not to talk like that, but fuck it. He's either gonna be dead or the winner soon. Let's get rebellious up in this bitch. The others join in, chanting fuck the Long Walk and fuck the Major.
Fuck the Major!
There you go.
It's a nice little moment of catharsis for them that we know will sadly only last so long. After a night of walking in the rain, Stebbins gets sicker, and an uncomfortable bowel movement nearly earns Art his ticket. Ray and Pete shoo him away, but not only because of his poo butt, but so they can get intimate.
Well, Ray, we're alone.
In their conversation, Ray finally opens up about his past with the Major. His dad had been an intellectual revolutionary, raising him on books and ideas banned by the government. Somehow, the military dictatorship found out, and the Major had him dragged into the middle of the street in the middle of the night. He gave him a choice, pledge allegiance or die. Ray's dad refused, opting for what he felt was the honorable choice.
Never forget who you are, Ray.
Then the Major shot him in the head in cold blood. This backstory was a creation of Molnar's. It wasn't in King's book.
Me as a reader, the best way for me to enjoy a movie more than a book is if you stay true to it, but give me something different to chew on.
It attracted Cooper Hoffman to the role of Ray, since he immediately related to the grief and pain over losing his father. He lost his own dad, veteran actor Philip Seymour Hoffman, in 2014 when he was only 10 years old. Lawrence was actually the last director to work with him before he died, on The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Cooper took the role as a chance to process his trauma into art that others might relate to. Ray's processing his trauma in a different way. He plans to use his wish to ask for the car carbine he grazed with his touch earlier. Then, he'll shoot the Major before anyone can stop him, cutting off the head of this whole damn system and getting revenge for his father. Pete warns him that it's hard to kill someone unless you're a certain type of person.
I'll become that kind of person.
That'd be fucking sad.
Pete believes vengeance isn't enough to live for. You have to see the beauty in the world and live for the moment, like moments with your new best bro.
You know what else is beautiful? Us.
Yep, just two friends walking.
Man, that shit gay.
Nah, you versatile, bro.
That shit gay.
And very heterosexually together as they look at a rainbow in the distance.
Want to walk me a while?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, Pete.
As the miles go on, Walker number 4, a kid named Patrick, begs for help from the soldiers. Instead, they run his legs over, smashing them to a pulp, and cruelly issue 3 warnings, knowing he can't get up. When they run out, they shoot him, finally putting him out of his misery. The incident is enough to make another boy, Walker number 24 Tressler, strip off his clothes and exit lane left. As per the rules, he's shot immediately. But hey, at least he got to feel a nice breeze on his way out. Hank finally takes out his gum, which ain't good. That wad was his chew or die. Ray tries to check up on him, but he's too far gone. He says that God's garden is full of weeds, then rushes the tanks and grabs a soldier's gun. He wants to go out on his own terms, but instead they shoot him in the stomach, then let him bleed out as a deterrent to any other walkers with the same idea. Hank cries out for Art, who earns 2 warnings himself when he runs back to be by Hank's side. He's only saved by Ray dragging him to the front again. They're forced to keep walking forward, away from their friend and his screams of agony.
I did it wrong!
We don't see this kill, and I'm glad we don't. This is the heaviest and most tragic death of the movie, so far. I love that this moment reveals a relationship we haven't been privy to. We know the 4 Musketeers, and we know Ray and Pete have their whole thing going on, but this scene reveals that all the while, Hank and Art were forming their own special bond. Close friendships like this were probably happening all over during the walk, along with their own tragic moments. They just weren't part of the story we've been watching. But I would have watched a movie of these two. Great performances by Ben Wang and Tut Nyat, a British actor doing a heavy southern drawl in his first feature film role. On the 4th day of Walkmas, there's only 6 boys left. Collie Parker tells the others that Hank was married to a gal named Clementine. In fact, he was the only walker with a wife waiting for him at home. Pete gets everyone to promise that if they win, they'll do something to help his darling Clementine. Even Stebbins agrees.
Why not? Go team.
Barkovich isn't invited, but asks if he can be part of the pack too. He's still haunted by what happened to Rank, and what people thought of him after that.
I don't want to die hated, you know?
With Ray's promise that he can be part of the group, Barkovich is satisfied enough to punch his own ticket by punching holes in his neck with a spoon. It's brutal, yet it was somehow even more brutal in the book. Just like everyone else in the cast, Charlie Plummer does a great job with his role. It could have been one note with a lesser actor, but you can see all the beats that led to Barkovich being a bully. He used Dennis Hopper's performance in Apocalypse Now as a reference in terms of energy, which is why director Lawrence gave his character a camera to use. Day 5 arrives, and after all these miles, Ray's shoes fall apart, forcing him to be sock-footed. Oh, those things are never gonna dry out. It makes for a sorry sight when they get to the town where Ginny's waiting to see him. Ginny's played by Judy Greer, who has always been awesome. I love how much horror she's been doing lately. She's only in a few scenes in The Long Walk, but she's heart-wrenching in all of them. The sight of his mom sets something off in Ray. He runs to her and says he's sorry, nearly getting his ticket before Pete pulls him back in line. He freaks out, saying he's abandoned his mom in service of principles.
You were right. I did what my dad did. Pete, I have made such a fucking massive mistake.
To calm him down, Pete opens up about his past. He lost his parents in the war, lived with an abusive uncle, and grew up on the streets. That's how he got these knife scars. He nearly died after picking the wrong fight. After that, he decided he would try to make the world better somehow. He tells Ray that if he wins, he shouldn't shoot the Major. He should choose love and go home to his mom. Collie Parker suddenly rushes a tank and manages to kill one of the soldiers with his own gun. He calls for the others to join him, but they can't before he's shot in the gut. He's left to bleed out as he chants a mournful song in Algonquin. And before the soldiers can kill him, he grabs a carbine and punches his own ticket. As dusk settles, Art can feel himself fading too. His nose won't stop bleeding, probably from an internal hemorrhage. Pete consoles him, saying he did his best and even made some friends, just like he had wanted to do.
Just want to walk and maybe make some friends.
Art asks that they don't watch him die, then falls back behind them and below pace. He gets his ticket in the background, but Ray and Pete keep their word, never once looking back. The Major rejoins them on a bridge that night for another bullshit speech. His empty platitudes get Ray riled up so much, he tells him to suck a dick.
That's the spirit, my boy.
Major don't give a fuck, he just gets back to talking about Sack.
Sack?
It's come down to the final 3, Ray, Pete, and Stebbins decides to finally open up about himself. He reveals that he's one of the Major's many bastard sons, scattered scattered across the country. And for his wish, he was going to ask to be taken into his father's home. Then he could hear about Sack every day.
Sack?
This reveal was hinted at right at the start of the race.
Good luck, son.
It's a fitting one too, with Hamill involved. That dude's part of the biggest daddy twist in movie history. Stebbins can feel his illness getting worse, and he's not down with the sickness. He makes peace with Pete and Ray and tells them to keep walking.
I'm glad it's you too.
Nice walking with you, Stebbins.
An honor.
Then he steps back and takes himself out of the running, or the walking. You know what I mean, he dies. With only the two of them left, Ray tells Pete that he used to be afraid of death, but not anymore. Now he's just focused on the present, and the moments he's had the chance to share with Pete and all the other boys. Night falls, and with it, rain. The boys are greeted by a cheering crowd who have been watching on the TV this whole time. In the Hunger Games, the spectators in the Capitol look almost like another species, with their crazy hair, makeup, and fashion. It highlights the class divide between the tributes and the ones watching the games. But in the long walk, all the spectators look like regular people. They're fellow countrymen, cheering on a teenage death march like it were the New York Marathon. Really drives home how twisted society's become since the walk was introduced. Without warning, Pete takes a knee, deciding to let Ray win so he can be with his mom. But Ray isn't about to let that happen. He goes back for Pete and asks him to walk just a little bit more. Then Ray steals his move, hanging back and using his last warning to get shot. Oh, for Pete's sake! Ray tells Pete that he wants him to live because he can see beauty in this world that Ray can't. Before him. As soldiers hold Pete back, the Major shoots Ray, just like he did his dad before him. Pete has to sit there and watch the murder go down to applause, fireworks, and a crowd singing the national anthem. The Major congratulates him while he weeps and asks what his one wish will be. Pete decides to take Ray's plan and ask for the carbine. The Major thinks it's fine, since Pete's the pacifist who wants to make the world a better place, but maybe he's not anymore.
This is for Ray.
Pete pulls the trigger and fulfills his best friend's wish, shooting and killing the Major. It feels like in the end, Ray and Pete both changed each other's minds.
Wait, they had one wish and he just went, okay.
I think that's the sign of true listening in their relationship. They came to actually understand each other's point of view. This ending is also a major departure from the book in various ways, but I'll keep from spoiling it in case you want to read it, which you should. It's definitely worth it. It's also a change King personally approved, saying he loved it.
One of the greatest days of my artistic life and career, hearing that he was digging the ending.
The movie ends with Pete standing in suddenly empty, silent streets. It's ambiguous. Was he shot and this is the afterlife? Is it just the blank view of trauma? Maybe it's a metaphor.
Yeah, I know. You see, I would survive this by not even participating. But if I did participate in it, I would take out my fucking enemies. I wouldn't walk miles with them. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not walking more than 2 days. So after them 2 days, I'm gonna start killing folks. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, for me, that was the end of the video, man. I'll catch y'all boys later.